Good afternoon. My name is Jabril Pasqua, and today I will be going through the lab sequel, not the movie sequel, but sequel. More, more said as SQL, the structured query language. Basically, we're going to be looking through which vulnerability this lab has, how we're going to be hitting it, and the different tools that will be using to get the flag for the system itself. So, first of all, let's start our script. Our script nmap, which is a network mapper, is going to take around 4 to 5 minutes to run from what I've usually seen. So we have the target IP address, 10.129.74.70. We're going to go ahead and start the nmap script. Sudo, which allows, if I can type, which allows for the command that we use to have admin privileges. We use nmap, which is an network mapper. We use the two flags -sc and -sv. We're going to be going over that in just a second. Then we go ahead and put the IP address, 10.129.74.70. And last but not least, -t5 to add a little bit of salt to allow for the speed to be the fastest scanning ever. All we need to know is what's in the system, what versions there are, and what we're going to be doing, or what we're going to be needing to know. Not really every single thing in depth. So let's go ahead, -t5, and we have to start the nmap scan. We can go ahead and see, press C, and doesn't show, but in just a second, there we go. It shows how many percent and how long it's been taken. But while we wait, let's go ahead and install the service that we're going to be needing to use, which is going to be the MySQL servers. Let's go ahead and sudo apt update and sudo apt install MySQL. MySQL, and I should have already installed it, but let's go ahead and run this one more time just in case. And yep, looks like everything's there, and we are gonna be good. Let's go ahead, clear this. Now let's talk about the flags that I actually use in order to see and get some help from nmap itself. We can use the command nmap-h. We get to see all the different flags that we could use. For example, max retries. We're going to be able to uh, just cap the number of port scans on one host. And then we also have -sn, ping scan. It disables the port scans. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's -o, OS detection. Like what OS is this IP using? Windows, Mac OS, Ubuntu, well, like what we're using, Kali. But the two important ones that we use today were -sc and -sv. Let's go ahead and find -sc. Should be right around here. I had just seen it, but hey, there we go. -sc. It's equivalent to the dash script default. Basically, just it goes through the default script and tries to see whatever there is. If I remember, it's really just it's really just the script scanning script. And then -sv, which is just gonna help us find the certain version info of said things. But let's go ahead and check how far we are on the scanning itself. It's a little bit slower because I'm RDPing, but it doesn't look like the scan has been going up, which is very, very questionable. We'll just go ahead and keep waiting. Takes a little bit, but some information that we want to know is we're gonna be getting the vulnerability MariaDB from what we see in this actual scan itself, 97.97. MariaDB. The MariaDB default username and usually has no password. We're going to be using this command, mysql-root, and since we already downloaded the MySQL, the MySQL service, we could go ahead and run mysql-help. MySQL dash dash help, similar to nmap dash h, will show us the different flags that we can add onto our MySQL command itself. So we have MySQL, and then we use something like, where if I can find it, dash h, to put the host name, which we saw right here, would be root. Root is going to be the MariaDB host name, or no, sorry, MariaDB username that we're going to be using. The host name is actually going to be the target IP address that we have that we have gotten in Hack the Box. Let's go ahead and look, and looks like we got it. The information that we get here. Oh, the Nmap scan report for IP address 10.129.74.70. Host is up, where it's able to be seen. There's 999 closed TCP ports, but the important part is which ports are open and which services are in said ports. Well, port 3306, TCP is open, and MySQL. Port 3306 is usually the port that is always hitting MySQL. So if you're using a more visual version of MySQL, you would be seeing the items that you'd be putting in, like localhost. You'd be putting in user host name, password, and possibly the port number, which it's usually in port 3306. The info of MySQL itself is that we're using version 5.5.5-10.3.27 MariaDB. MariaDB being the type of database that we're using, the type of database server that we're using. Let's go ahead. We're going to be using -h and wherever it is, -u to input our username for this said service. So let's go ahead and go right here. We run MySQL -h 10.129.74.70 -u and root. As you may see, we use another command, but we'll be going over that in just a second. But yeah, we can learn a little bit more about how this entire thing works. And if we had our own visual app, like let's say MySQL Workbench, SQLH, dbeaver, we could potentially just hit this said service or this said database with those apps itself. Looks like we're getting a little SSL error. SSL is required, but because of the age of the server, it's not supported. So we could use the command --skip -SSL to skip this part of connection to the database. As we can see here, we could use -SSL to enable SSL connection, but if we add the skip flag before the actual SSL flag, we're able to just skip that entire portion entirely. And if we go back to here, we are now connected to the Maria database server itself. What would be the first thing that you would think to do in the database? Is it look at the tables, look at what there is in the database, but you can't really do any of that beforehand. So if you can see here, we have MariaDB. This also the parentheses none indicating which database we are accessing. So let's go ahead. Let's see if we can already access tables. We're going to go ahead and show tables. And no. Oh, yeah. We do not have any database selected. So let's first see the different databases that we have within this server itself. Show databases is the command. And over here, we are doing lowercase because you usually see uppercase letters on the actual SQL queries itself, but it's actually not case sensitive and you could write it. I actually learned that recently. So let's go. Oh, show database. I have an error. Oh, show databases is what we're supposed to be running. So now that we ran this command, we see that there's 4 different databases. We see hack the box, we see information underscore schema, we see MySQL, and we see performance underscore schema. we could go ahead and check out all these different schemas, but the important one is HTB. For a sneak peek, let's see what's in the information schema. Let's use the command use information underscore schema to allow us to look inside that database itself. So now it's reading the table from column to end, and now we're in the database itself. Now we can look at the tables, and there's a lot of different tables, but this is most likely the information of the user or the users. But now let's go to the actual database that we want to use. Use HTB is the command that we run, semicolon. And now we are in the Hack the Box or HTB database. Let's go ahead and use the command show tables to see what's in this database itself. We have config and users. Users might be an important table so that we know who is accessing this database itself, or what is actually like given. Usually there'd be users and then the different other parts of the database, but these are the two ones that we get. Let's go ahead and use the query select times from users. Boom. So we have the 4 users in this database. We have the admin user, which is admin@sql.htb, Lara@sql.htb, Sam, and Mary. Basic MySQL schema for just an ID, username, and email. So looking at this, we're not really getting the information that we want. We want to find the flag. So we go ahead and let's look for the database again so that we have the exact name. Oh, well, looks like it's right up there. Config is the other table in this database. So we use select times from config. Here we get just the default values that you put into this server itself. We have the timeout value, how long it will be until the service times out, security, its default security, auto logon, the max size, and we get the flag. Inputting this flag will go ahead and help us complete the complete the lab itself, and that is it. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.